Hello everyone, and welcome to everything you need to know about the Abyss Chapter 2. I'm going to be showing you everything that this mod has to offer in just this little spot right here. First things first, I have to cater to the people who don't know much about this mod to begin with. So first things first, Loran Flowers. Where do you find them? What do they drop? And what's the point of them? You'll find these Loran Flowers spread across the whole entire map, and when you break them, in my case underneath because I'm in creative mode, you'll get these Loran. What do you do with this Loran, you're probably asking yourself? Well, with a diamond pickaxe and 25 obsidian later, you're going to be able to craft yourself 10 unstable obsidian. That's all you're going to need to make this portal. And just like this, with the corners cut out, you'll use 10 unstable obsidian. But how do you light this? Not with a flint and steel, but kind of. What you're going to need to craft the portal activator is a flint and steel, an iron ingot, and one lava bucket. And then all you're going to do is light it like it was a flint and steel, and you'd get yourself the Abyss portal. But before we go right into the Abyss portal, this is also another crafting recipe you can do before you even enter this new dimension. This is going to require 4 furnaces and 1 iron pickaxe, and just like that, you can make yourself an auto smelt pickaxe. That's basically the same as an iron pick, but you don't need a furnace to smelt gold or iron. And for people who are curious about what this looks like, I'll show you. So this is what the Abyss looks like. It's a dark, scary place. There's a total of 7 biomes scattered throughout this massive world, and it's scary. I'll just say that. I mean, I have all my mobs disabled, but believe me, it is a terrifying place. But if you already knew that, let me get back to teaching you on everything you need to know about the Abyss Chapter 2. So this next segment is going to be me going over every single ore that you can find and expect to find within this whole dimension itself. Starting off with the most common ore, we have the ice ore. When breaking this ice ore, you receive 1 frozen diamond. And just like a normal diamond, you're just going to make armor with it, and you're going to be able to create the ice armor. Also, just an FYI, because you used a diamond pickaxe to of course obtain and build this portal, everything here is better than a diamond pickaxe and can be mined with a diamond pickaxe. There is some more complicated stuff that I'm going to be getting into in just a little bit. There's no point in me going over this other armor stuff because you don't know what slime fusion is yet and how to get it. So I almost forgot to tell you where this ice ore is located. This ice ore is located in certain locations on the surface. You'll find these little big stones every now and then. They're like jagged little sharp stones, but per stone there should be about 2 to 3 of these ores, and all you're going to do is mine them. You'll also find Loran ore on the surface as well, very common. I wouldn't look underground for both of these ores. You can find the Loran ore underground too, but I would only search for ice ore above ground in certain areas where these little stones are found. And the second most common ore is going to be the Loran ore. Of course, you know that you can get Loran from breaking the Loran flowers here, but there's alternative ways of getting it. In the mines, you can find this ore, and also you can find on the surface and the mines this plant, which of course when broken will also give you some Loran. But if you want to create this ore again as a fuel source, you're going to need 4 cobblestone and 5 Loran like you're making TNT, and you can make yourself this Loran ore, which can smelt up to 25 items in a furnace. But what can Loran do? Well, Loran is like one of the most common and most useful materials on this mod. So to start things off, here are the most simple things that you can do with the Loran. So when breaking the ore, you get around 3 Loran. And if you want to create a Loran ingot, you're going to need 1 iron ingot and 8 Loran. To make yourself Loran energy, you're going to do the same recipe, but instead of an iron ingot in the center, you're going to need an unknown gem. Now, I'll get into what an unknown gem is in just a bit. It's just a material you can find underground between Y levels of 1 and 13, very commonly. Next up is the Abyss ore. This is a little bit more rare, but it's still slightly common, and this is going to drop the Abyss diamond when mined. Just like a normal diamond again, all you have to do is craft armor and a pickaxe like you normally would. But if you want to hold on to your Abyss diamond and make a bit of a stronger material, then use 2 Abyss diamonds and a Loran in the center to get yourself an Ultra Abyss diamond. This Abyss diamond is going to be used again like any diamond or iron material in the crafting bench to create yourself armor and tools. Also, this applies to weapons too. You can make weapons the same way. Next up is the fusion ore. This ore is a little bit more complicated, so stick with me here. When you break a fusion ore, you get a fusion ore. Alright, it's very simple. You don't get it. It's like smelting, but you can't really smelt down the fusion ore until you craft the fusion iron. And in order to do that, you need 8 iron ingots and fusion ore. And also, you can find the overworld ores in the Abyss caves as well, so you don't need to be switching back and forth dimensions to be able to get this material. You can just stay in one place in the caves of the Abyss, and you can also find iron just like you normally would underground in the overworld. Now you need a fusion ingot. You're going to put that in the furnace with some coal or some Loran ore, and then you're going to get yourself a fusion ingot. And once you've created that fusion ore, what you're going to do is put this in the crafting bench like you would with a normal pickaxe, a sword, but armor is a little bit different, and as you can see, this is probably why. That iron chestplate is not by mistake. You actually need to have that chestplate there to create this fusion armor body chestplate. But let's say I wanted to make myself some fusion pants. Instead of using a chestplate, I would make a shape of pants with the fusion ingots, and then I'd put the iron pants right here, and just like that, you'd be able to create yourself fusion armor pants. But of course, that's not every recipe, so how exactly do you do all of them? Well, this is for boots, and this is for helmets. That's it. Only thing different, obviously, is replacing the chest plate with the armor that you're trying to create. Next up is the fire ore. I would say that this ore is just a little bit more common than the fusion ore, but I put it a place higher because it creates better armor and weapons. So first things first, what can you craft with it? Well, you're just going to get a fire diamond when you break the fire ore. And again, just like diamond, you're going to create yourself armor with it. You cannot create tools with this, but you can create a sword that I'll later on show. It's not as simple as just putting two on top of each other and a stick underneath. Now, to make it a much stronger resource, you're going to combine the fire diamond with one netherite ingot, and you're going to get yourself a nether fire ingot. And now you're probably asking yourself, how exactly do you craft this? Do you need 8 nether fire ingots to make one nether fire armor chestplate? Absolutely not. All you're going to do is get your fire armor chestplate and put the nether fire ingot next to it, and you're going to get yourself a nether fire armor chestplate. And right above this chest here, we have, of course, the Abyss Fire Sword. That's actually pretty solid, but not as good as Diamond, sadly. So if you're still rocking a Diamond Sword, I would stick with the Diamond Sword. But if you're curious, you need 2 fire diamonds and a stick, but you need fire nuggets. Where do you get fire nugs from? Well, this right here is actually not fire. In fact, this helps you out. You get fire resistance 2, strength 2, and glowing 2. You would think that you would burn from touching something like this, but in fact you don't. And when you break this, you get a fire nug. Put 2 of them on either end of the fire diamonds and you can get yourself an Abyss Fire Sword. Next up is the Garnite. This stuff is getting interesting. It's pretty solid. So the Garnite here, when you break it, it's just going to give you the ingot out the get-go. Also, it's a very simple tool to make. You just need to put Garnite in the crafting bench like it's a normal pickaxe or armor, and you got yourself Garnite armor and a pickaxe. Same thing with the sword. It's a very simple recipe. And the best ore for last, of course, is the unknown gem. This is the unknown ore, and this is the unknown gem. The unknown gem is the best ore that you can mine in this mod so far, up until change. I don't know when they'll change it, but for now, this is the best material you can find. This is again from anywhere of Y level 1 through 13, just like diamonds. The Y level, you could probably go up to 15 just like diamonds, but it's very, very rare. I recommend strip mining to find these. Caving is going to be a nightmare. So I have this laid out a little bit different because you can make a pickaxe and armor with it very simply, but until you start making the sword, that's when things get complicated. So just like any diamond material, you're just going to create armor and a pickaxe and every single tool. Nothing complicated. The sword is the only one that's different, and to create the weak unknown sword, you're going to need 2 unknown gems, 2 fire nugs, and 1 stick. I call it the weak one because there's 2 variants of this unknown sword. And I know it's hard to read, but trust me, it's unknown sword. If this is an unknown pickaxe, then this is an unknown sword. And above the weak unknown sword and its armor and tools, we have the strong unknown sword that needs a frozen diamond, an abyss diamond, an unknown gem, and a fire diamond, along with the weak unknown sword from the chest below. That is going to give you an attack damage of nearly 11, which is basically 4 attack damage higher than a diamond sword, so it's a lot more valuable. So now that I've brought you through every single ore that you can get in this mod and what it can craft, it's time to move over to the nodes. The nodes are a little bit different, as you can see. They spawn in little clusters like this, and they're very simple. All you gotta do is break them with a pickaxe. If you break the block, you're gonna get 2 node crystals, and when you break the node crystals, you're going to get yourself node shards. Now, I'm gonna be going over every single mob that drops something unique. There are about 35-40 mobs that are different from one another. However, they don't always drop something unique. These are the top 5 that actually do something, and well, 4 of them that do something. This one doesn't do anything, but I'm sure it's going to have a later crafting recipe. Now, these blocks are empty because for some reason the spiders decide that they're going to walk right through, and my creeper decided he was going to blow up randomly. So here is the Abyss End Spider. This spider is basically like your normal spider, except it's fast and it teleports like an Enderman. If you kill it, if you can kill it, that is, you're going to be rewarded with a nether end nug. And quite a reward it is, because it does nothing. As of yet, I don't know, it doesn't do anything yet, but I'm sure it's going to have a recipe in the future. But something that's a lot more valuable is, of course, the slime spider. The slime spider is only found in the slime forest, a very, very rare biome. But if you find one of these, make sure you hold on to them because it's such a valuable biome. This slime forest is the only place that the slime spider can spawn, and you're going to need a lot of slime spiders because this fusion ball that I've been showing you at the very start is all based off of, like, I think 150 of them. If you have 150 of these spiders and you kill them, you are finally awarded with a slime fusion. So you're going to be grinding in these slime forest for a while. So starting us off, when you kill the slime spider, you are rewarded with a weird slime. 9 of those weird slimes is going to give you an unstable slime. You're going to see the pattern here? Yeah. 8 of these unstable slimes and a Loran is going to give you a stable slime, and 8 of those stable slimes and a Loran energy is going to give you 2 slime fusion. It's a hefty recipe. I'm telling you right now, if you find a slime forest, you're going to want to keep it and mark it because you're going to need a lot of these if you want to upgrade your armor pieces a lot. So speaking of the armor pieces, now that I told you what a slime fusion is and how to get it, exactly what do they do? So what you're going to want to do with basically any set of armor is its best rarity in front, the slime fusion with netherite. Netherite and slime fusion are always fixed, but the piece of armor is always the best armor it can make. For example, the best armor I can make with a frozen diamond is simply ice armor. So I put a ice armor chest plate, a slime fusion, and a netherite chest plate down, and I get an ice armor chest plate that is infused with netherite. So the same as the frozen diamond, we're going to go into the abyss diamond section here, and it's the same thing. Now again, remember when I said the best rarity of that material? You're not going to be using abyss diamonds or your abyss diamond chest plate. You're going to be using your ultra abyss diamond. See, abyss ultra armor chest plate. And the other recipe is the same. All you're going to need is a slime fusion and a netherite chest plate, and of course you're going to need your abyss ultra armor chest plate. Now again, just to be 100% clear, you don't need to use a chest plate. I'm just using a chest plate throughout all of the mod. You can use boots here, but if you're going to use boots, you're going to need the boots here and then the boots there. Alright, and you can't do this with a pickaxe, swords, any of the tools. It is only with armor. So another example in that case is the nether fire armor chest plate being combined with slime fusion and a netherite chest plate, and you're going to get yourself a nether fire armor chest plate, netherite fusion. But the only ones that have that ability is the fire ore, the abyss ore, and the ice ore. Everything else doesn't have that ability. So now that we've got that out the way, let's go right on over to the next step. So everything that I'm about to show you is only going to be in the phantom biome. It's a very spooky biome. It has like a mist of green and white in the background. Of course, it's going to have its dead trees, no leaves, nothing. And you're going to see these fossil structures as well. These fossil structures are huge. First off, let's get into what they are. So if you break these fossil structures, you're going to get broken titan bones. So when you break these titan fossils block by block with a pickaxe, you're going to be rewarded with some broken titan bones. Put 9 of these in a crafting bench like so, and you're going to be rewarded with 4 titan bones. And you can craft a bone weapon, armor, and tools as if it was iron. It's the same way, nothing complicated. It just gives you a little bit of a variety of things you can put on. And another thing that's also going to spawn in this biome are going to be the phantoms. The phantoms are going to drop a phantom soul on kill, along with sometimes dropping an eye. But these eyes are alive and they fly into the sky. They're called eyelies. They don't drop anything. They're just creepy and weird. I wouldn't bother chasing after them, but yeah, the eyelies do drop after killing the phantom. So if you're confused on what that is, it's just another thing that happens. So now that you know exactly what the phantom biome looks like and the benefits of it, let's really get into what it can do when you actually put all these materials together. So to create phantom essence, you're going to need 4 titan bones, 4 phantom souls, and 1 glass bottle. And once you make the phantom essence, you're going to create a phantom ingot. And all you have to do to create a phantom ingot is just by putting phantom essence surrounded by iron ingots. Now that you finally have phantom ingots, all you're going to do is put an unknown pickaxe in the crafting bench or in your inventory crafting, and then put a phantom ingot next to it, and it's just going to convert it to a phantom pickaxe. That's the same thing with the sword. However, you have to use this strong unknown sword, not the weak one. You'll know it's a strong one because it has 10.8 attack damage. Then you're going to be rewarded with the unknown phantom sword maybe, or the phantom sword. I don't know. I can't read that. It's hard to read. But it does 14 attack damage, so it's worth your while. And the armor is the same way. Pick any armor piece, put a phantom ingot next to it, and get rewarded with a phantom armor piece. Next up is the Unorithe stuff. How do you make an Unorithe bar, you're probably asking yourself? Well, you need 6 titan bones, 2 netherite ingots, and 1 phantom ingot. That is a hefty crafting recipe, but don't worry, you only need 1 of them to convert your phantom stuff to Unorithe tools, weapons, and armor. And then, of course, last but not least, I lied, there's a 4th one. It is Unorithe chest plate plus slime fusion plus netherite armor, and then you get rewarded with the Unorithe armor netherite fusion. This is the best armor you can possibly wear on this mod, so I would definitely recommend grinding for this armor set. Next up is the scorpion spawn egg. The scorpion, when you kill it, is going, oh, he's a fast boy. Wow, look at him. Whoa. Okay, well, I'm not going to bother chasing him, but when you kill him, you get a nether scorpion eye. And the nether scorpion eye is going to help you create and craft this ring. This is the ring of eagle here. It basically allows you to be able to see through blocks and stuff, but here's how you get into the crafting recipe. So the first one is how to make a ring. If you really want to make a ring, this is it. You're going to need 8 Loran ingots, 1 Loran energy, and it's going to create a ring. That's just a crafting recipe. This thing does nothing at all but used for other crafting recipes. And of course, to create the ring of eagle, this is what you're going to need. 4 eyes of ender, 4 scorpion eyes, and that ring that we just crafted, and it's going to give you this. Of course, all you gotta do is right click it as if it was in your hand, or put it on like it's a shield and right click, and you'll be able to use this for a bit. And then there's a cooldown, of course. This cooldown lasts for the whole time. I guess I'll show you for example. So I right click on it. I can see through the chest here or the walls or anything that I go through here, and I can target some of these mobs, and as soon as the cooldown is over, I can use it again. And the same thing, you just go ahead and put it in your shield, and it's like your offhand thing. You can just keep right clicking with it. You can do this with every single ring. And next up is the Abyss Creeper. When killed, this guy will drop creeper dust. He's a fast creeper, and his explosion's the same, and so is his damage, but when he's chasing you, you can no longer outrun the creeper. So your best chance is to just one hit the guy with a really good sword. Just like that. Obviously, you won't have the sword. The sword's from killing the final boss, which we'll get into in just a bit, but he will drop creeper dust on death. And all the creeper dust does is it helps you create the Ring of Thunder. Now, how exactly do you craft the Ring of Thunder if you're curious? All you have to do is get yourself 8 Thunder Nuggets and put Cobblestone or Broken Abyss Stone in the center. Broken Abyss Stone is basically just like regular stone. If you use Silk Touch on it, you'll get the Abyss Stone. If you break it without Silk Touch, you're going to be receiving Broken Abyss Stone. But hold up, how exactly do you get this Thunder Nugget? Well, over here, you're going to find this plant throughout all of the Abyss. This plant is rare, but when you find it, it spawns in groups of 2 to 5 usually, and it's also very, easy to find by accident, because when you step on it, thunder comes down, obviously giving the title of the plant, Abyss Thunder Plant. But when you break it, you get these little nuggets, and you can use that in the crafting recipe to create the Thunderstone. And with the Thunderstone, you're going to need 4 of those, and then 4 creeper dust, and then the ring that we crafted earlier, just the crafting recipe, to get yourself the Ring of Thunder. All this is going to do is summon lightning strikes to all nearby entities, and then it's just going to have a cooldown, just like that. Very simple, nothing crazy. Very good if you want to combine these rings together for boss fights and mini bosses to make things easier for yourself. And of course, there's a lot of these ring recipes. I'm only going to be showing you these 2 because these are the only 2 that are basically stemmed off of mob drops, and that's it. And that's the whole reason why I wanted to show you all 5 of these. Moving on, I'm going to show you the new dimension. Yes, believe it or not, there is another dimension in this mod. So this mod comes with 2 dimensions, the Abyss and the Frozen Abyss. How do you get this Frozen Abyss portal? You're probably asking yourself. It's actually a lot harder than I wish it was. This structure only spawns in Abyss Mountain. Again, there are 7 biomes included with this mod, but this one is only found in Abyss Mountain biomes. You'll find this little cube, and inside this cube will be this portal, and you're going to need a key of ice to light it or ignite it to get inside this portal. Now, of course, how exactly do you get this key of ice? Well, this darkstone can be mined up, and that's exactly what you're going to need. You're going to need 2 frozen diamonds, and you're going to need darkstone. So now that you know exactly how to find this portal and how to create the ignition for this portal, let's jump right into the Frozen Abyss. So in the Frozen Abyss, you're going to find 3 different biomes. You're going to find the mountains, the frozen lakes, and you're also going to find the frozen forest. They're all usually bundled together, but that's really it when it comes to biomes in the Frozen Abyss. Another thing is, on these frozen lakes, you'll be finding these frozen titan bones here. These are the same thing that you found in the phantom biomes, but they're all scattered throughout the frozen lakes. That's pretty much all there is to offer in the frozen abyss. I'll get into the mobs and other things that you can find in here, but for the most part, that's really all you get geographically. Of course, you'll also get these nodes as well that naturally spawn, just like they did in the dark abyss. So the first thing I want to go over in this frozen abyss is the Icora Flower. When you break this Icora Flower, you get rewarded with this Icora Nugget. You need 8 Icora Nuggets and 1 cobblestone or broken abyss stone to create an Icora stone. Now, these only spawn on snow. You'll never find these on the ice unless they're glitched, but most times they're not. And they just look like this. They're pretty common, along with other things that you'll be finding in this biome or this dimension as a whole. And I'm going to show you what this Icora stone can do. But of course, not until I show you the 2 new mobs that you're going to be finding, and the only 2 mobs that you're going to be finding in this frozen abyss. So we have 2 mobs, but really only one of them matters because unfortunately this skeleton here doesn't drop anything and isn't used for anything. But the knight is what you really want to be chasing after, and will also be chasing after you. This knight is very strong, as you can see by his weapon. It's a very, I think that's a 13 or 14 attack damage weapon, so you got to be careful around the knight. The knight will drop his sword if you kill him enough times. He'll give you a bricked knight sword. They'll be mainly damaged, so of course you can just put it in an anvil to repair it or a crafting bench. And he also drops this knight shard. If you kill enough of these guys, you'll get enough knight shards to make yourself a bricked ingot. Now the bricked knight ingot is made out of 8 knight shards and 1 Loran energy. Once you make 4 of those, you'll be able to craft the knight ingot, and you'll get 2 of them as well. This is also going to cost you a Loran energy. Again, to make a Loran energy, all you need is 8 Loran and 1 unknown gem in the center, and you got yourself a Loran energy. Now these are the only weapons and tools that are going to require a different crafting recipe than usual. To make the sword, you're going to need 2 knight ingots and 2 Icora stones in this fashion. This will give you a 19 attack damage knight sword that is actually super good. Next up is the pickaxe. When you put the Icora stones and the knight ingots around in this fashion, you'll also get a knight pickaxe. This pickaxe is no faster than a diamond pick. The only difference is it has higher durability. That's the same thing with all of these pickaxes in this mod. None of the pickaxes are faster. The only difference is that they have more durability. This is how you make the axe. All you're gonna need is 2 Icora stones and of course some 3 knight ingots, just like an axe, and you got yourself a knight axe. This is the knight shovel. And of course the night hoe, which I don't think anyone's really going to be making. So that is pretty much everything that the frozen abyss has to offer. Next up, I'm going to be showing you how to spawn the final boss and what to use to kill him. So before we get into the mini boss and final boss, I want to go over every single plant in the abyss that actually does something unique. First plant I want to show is the fire plant. This one gives you strength 2, fire resistance 2, and glowing 2. Next up is the thunder plant. This one gives you the thunder nuggets that we were talking about earlier to craft the ring. Next up is the Loran Flower. This is the same flower and plant that you use to get into the abyss. This plant just burns you. This plant also burns you. And the life flower is one of the best plants you can possibly get in the abyss. When you break the life flower, you're going to get life nuggets. And when you put 8 of them like this, a cobblestone or a broken abyss stone in the center, you'll receive a life stone. And this is what the life stone is used for. A couple rings, you can see here the recipes. If you really don't want to get just enough items, here are a couple more rings that you can craft. And also, the reason why this flower is so awesome is because it gives you regeneration 3 and health boost 2. And the funny part is, after you step off of it, it hurts you because it gets rid of 4 more hearts. It gives you 4 hearts, but as soon as you get off it, it takes away 4. Also, all these plants here grow like sugarcane. They grow up to 3 blocks tall and they stop growing. Which is why this flower is awesome, is because it is made harvestable and farmable. This plant just burns you. This plant blinds you. It's one of the most annoying plants that you'll ever see in the abyss. I don't recommend coming near that thing. Just get rid of it, in fact. This plant burns you. This plant also cannot be mined. And this plant also burns you. Believe it or not, this does not burn you. This does the same thing as our other fire plant down there, but it just doesn't drop, of course, what we know and love, which is the fire nug. This is the Icora plant from earlier. We already know about that. And this one burns you. This is also another way of collecting Loran. This is a Loran Bush. You can find this in the caves and the surface of the abyss. So everyone, this right here is the mini boss. You're going to need to kill this guy a healthy amount of times. I think it's 4 or 5 times to be able to spawn the final boss and complete the game. So once you kill the Roka horn and you acquire the Roka horn, all you have to do is put 3 unknown letters just like this to create the Abyss mob guide, or whatever that says. I don't exactly know what that says, but how do you get these unknown letters, you're probably asking yourself? Well, all you gotta do is find these monoliths scattered throughout the overworld. They are very rare, but when you find them and you right click on them, you'll be rewarded this. So in total, you're going to need 7 of these letters. Now, it doesn't matter if some say unknown letters. For example, mine says it feels wrong, and then 5 of them are unknown letters. It doesn't matter. As long as you have them in this recipe with any of the letters, it doesn't matter exactly which one. As long as you have any of these letters in this same exact pattern, you'll be able to create the Abyss End. So now that you know how to gather all the stuff to craft the Abyss End eye, let me show you exactly what happens when you right click on the said eye. So to keep them contained, I'm just going to spawn them in this box right here, and all you do is right click, and it's going to spawn the Roka End boss along with a couple random spiders that are going to chase after you. So for now, I'm not going to kill him. I'm just going to show you what he drops, and then I'm going to try fighting him with the best stuff you can get before killing him. And yeah, he's a very terrifying boss. So when you kill him, you get the Sword of Abyss, the Hammer of Abyss, the Shrine of End, and the Music Disc. Those are all the things that you get all at the same time. There's not a chance that you won't get it. You're always going to get all these items here. So I'm going to put on the best armor I can possibly get, and that is going to be that. There we go. So we get ourselves speed, resistance, and fire resistance as a full set bonus with this armor. So now let's go right on into survival here and try fighting the Roka End boss. So of course you can cheese them just like this if you really wanted to. You just hit him like that over and over and over and over again. But as you can see, he does a significant amount of damage. If you're far away enough, you can do this. Now to get him in a square like this, as you can see, you just put the Eye of End in it and whatever, and cube him off. And cube him off just like I did, and you could do the same thing I just did. So that's one way of killing him. You also get XP bottles as well, which is something you don't usually get for vanilla. You can right click on this to go back to the overworld. Now of course it's a little weird because I'm already in the overworld, but I'll show you exactly what it looks like when you go through this at the very end. But yeah, that is the final boss in the Abyss chapter 2. It's a crazy boss. He does so much damage. Keep in mind that this armor that I'm wearing right now has insane buffs and everything, and I almost got killed in like 5 or 6 hits. So I don't know, maybe I'm just a little bit cheesy and stuff, but I would prefer to keep him in a cube to kill him. I don't know if you could actually kill him when he's outside free roam because he's a very fast boss. So this next part I'm about to do is probably best that you don't watch because it might spoil the very end of it. I told you exactly how to get to this point and everything that you need to know. But if you want to skip to the very end, you can go ahead if you don't want to get any spoilers. So once you've killed the final boss, all you're going to do is right click on this monolith here at the very bottom, and it's going to bring you through, of course, the Abyss. Now this Abyss is literally this. If you have a bucket of milk, you probably don't want to do that, but this is designed so that way you have about 4 minutes of slow falling. Once the 4 minutes is up and the music is over, all you're going to do is right click on the fish, and you'll be prompted back to the overworld right here, and it'll bring you back to spawn just like that. So that is everything that the Abyss chapter 2 has to offer for the major things that you need to know. Hopefully you learned something and you can finally play this mod without having any confusion. If you did enjoy this, leave a like and subscribe, and if you did either of those, leave a comment down below, tell me you did so, and I'll get back to you on that. Other than that, that is going to be it for me today, so hopefully you did enjoy, and enjoy your day.